Episode of the Nikki B Show. Well, let's get into it. It's me, Nikki B, the elegant and regal one. The struggle is real, but the journey is worth it.
Nikki Bendross, plus size model.
The Nikki B Show. Nikki B, the elegant and regal one.
Nikki Bendross.
It's me, the elegant and regal one.
Plus size model.
Remember, the journey is worth it. Hey guys, it's me, Nikki B, the elegant and regal one. How you guys doing today? Welcome to Say What Wednesdays. I am your host again, Nikki B. Immediately after me, we have DJ Hot Rizal. Shout out to our founder and CEO of Z100 The Beat, DJ Marvin Banks, who makes the Z100 The Beat platform possible. Guys, keep it locked. We have the best DJs around. We have DJ Ace. We have DJ Vision. We have DJ Hey Mr. DJ. We have DJ Eric B, and also again DJ Marvin Banks. We have the Drive at 5, the dance party on Saturdays, and also High Frequency Wednesday with DJ Hot Rizal. Guys, keep it locked. Now, my disclaimer, I am on Facebook Live as well as Z100thebeat.com. So when you hear me go back and forth, I'm doing interactive hosting and online radio show. Today, we're going to be talking about a very serious topic, mental, it's a form of mental illness, but it's recognizing the signs of suicide. How do you know if somebody's suicidal? I don't want to give you any misconceptions, any of my preconceived notions. I want to be able to just get you guys to see it for what it is. Recognizing suicidal behavior. Suicide is not a mental illness, but it's a serious potential consequence of a treatable mental disorder that includes major depression, bipolar disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, borderline personality disorder, schizophrenia, substance use disorders, anxiety disorders, and eating disorders like bulimia and anorexia nervosa. The suicide warning signs. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something. You can't always go by what a person says. You can't always go by the smile on their face. You got to pay attention to their cues, which are verbal and nonverbal cues. Any of the warning signs that I'm getting ready to let you guys let in on is these are very substantial warnings. These are warnings that scream louder than what you can hear with the human ear. You gotta listen with the heart. Severe sadness, moodiness, long-lasting sadness, mood swings, and unexpected rage. So what do you mean, Nikki B? Somebody who you know that's always happy, go lucky, they're having a great time, they're enjoying life, then all of a sudden, when their mood swings down, it stays down. I mean, it's like it's always gloom and doom. There's never any joy. They can never find any happiness out of life. They're always looking at the dark side. You know, we always talk about look at the bright side of things. Look at the brighter side. There's always a silver lining on that cloud. At the end of the tunnel, there's that bright light. But for people who suffer with suicidal tendencies, there is no bright light. There's always hope and despair. They wake up every day to do it again. They wake up every day to think about taking their lives. And this is not something they do on a spur of the moment. This is something very calculated. They plan it for months and months at a time. Pay attention. I want you to use your heart. I'm the type of person, I study people. You know, I'm in school now to be a licensed board certified psychologist, right? And I pay attention to behaviors. We're studying moods, we're studying psyches, we're studying any and everything to do with the human mind and the human body and how the mind works and what triggers people to go down different avenues, You know, what can trigger a person to go on to murder? What triggers a person to want to commit suicide? That is what we're talking about today. Hopelessness. Hopelessness, feeling a deep sense of hopelessness about the future with little expectations that circumstances can improve. This person is not Little Mary's sunlight. They don't have any rays of sun. It's always, well, you know, today's bad, tomorrow's gonna be bad, every day is gonna be bad. There's never any positive outlook. And life could be beat this person down where they don't feel like there's any hope. Life can be very tricky. You can wake up and say, I'm going to have a great day. And sometimes what you meet out there in the street can knock the wind out of you. People who are suicidal feel like they can never catch a break. They can never get caught up on their bills. They can never get caught up on the job. It's always going to be something there to hinder them. They cannot see past the obstacles. Hey, Eddie, they can never see past the obstacles before them. They can never see past the blockages. It's always something. They get into a car accident. Instead of seeing, you know, it was probably an accident, they'll see it as nobody don't want me with nothing. Nobody can't stand to see me happy. That's when you know somebody's having suicidal tendencies, when it's always never, well, maybe the Most High was protecting me from something. It's always, no, I can't never have nothing. I can't never get nothing right. I can't never have my way. That's when you know that person is on the brink of suicide, because it feels like to them the whole world is against them. It feels like the whole world resting on their shoulders, and no matter what they do, they can't get from underneath it. I don't know if you guys watched the movie Encanto. This young lady, she had some superpowers, and she felt like no matter what she did, she was never strong enough. She could never get it right. And it's like under the surface, because a person with suicidal thoughts, under the surface is where everything is broken. And sometimes they wear a smile like a clown, hoping somebody could hear that they're screaming and broken down on the inside. But the surface, I'm smiling. There's no problems, you know, all is well, all is great. But under the surface, they're breaking, they're cracking under the weight of life. Listen, I'm going to tell y'all something good. If y'all have not looked around to see in this land how people are not well, there's no money, but the bills are due. There's plenty of mouths to feed, but there's no food. Rent's gone up. My check can't make it. I gotta pay my lights. I don't know what to do. Then I'm working to pay my rent, but I don't have any gas money to get to the job to continue the cycle that I'm in. Suicide is on the rise. And the main root cause is they feel alone. They feel like that nobody is listening, that nobody is there, that nobody has their arms open wide. They feel like they're all alone. We're talking about recognizing suicidal tendencies in people. It could be that one coworker that's walking through the office praying that somebody will say, are you all right? Praying that somebody could say, hey, give them a kind word. How's your day going so far? That's what I'm talking about. Understanding suicidal tendencies in people. It could be right there in front of you and you don't even know it. You know, my mind reflects back on a classmate. I can't call his name because, you know, out of respect of the family. But he was so happy. Every day he had a smile on his face. He had you would look at him and say, this young man has the brightest future because his light shined the brightest at everything. And one day somebody broke his heart. He gave it his all. You never know what to push a person to their breaking point. He gave it his all. Woke up, found out he cheated. She cleaned him out. She took everything. and left him with nothing. Mind you, this young man been on this job. He been working hard, building, saving, doing everything right. He followed all the rules. He played by the book. He did everything right. Those are the type of people who take being let down and dropped. And, some of us made of some strong stuff, but then there's some of us where you can push a person to their breaking point. And this young man was pushed to his breaking point where he took his gun and he ended his life because he said, it's too much. I've given all of myself. I gave my money. I gave my heart. I gave my everything. And yet, I could still never be loved or never be taken seriously or never be seen as human. When we raise awareness to suicide, that's a big deal. That's saying to people, I see you. I hear you. I validate you. I may not hear what you're saying with my ears, but my spirit tells me you need a hello. My spirit tells me you need a hug. My spirit says you just need me to sit and talk to you. I'm that person. We're those people that the Lord allows us to hear with our spirit, the spirit of discernment. Well, you can discern when people's going through something. Again, if you look around, rent's going up, people out in the streets, there's food shortages. There's so many different things that's going on, and people are just trying to make it through the day. They're not trying to make it to the next day. Some people are trying to just make it through the day. Some people have to take it 1 hour at a time. One minute at a time, sometimes 1 second at a time. You got to take it as in increments as you can get it. That's what I've learned, that when you see somebody going through something, it's never in their best interest or your best interest to push them while they're down. If anything, reach your hand down there to pick them up. Reach your hand down to encourage them. Be a sounding board in somebody's life. Touch their lives with just a kind word. I tell you, guys, I was in the grocery store one day. I don't even know what I did, but I told this lady, it's going to be all right. I felt it. It's going to be all right. 6 weeks later, the lady grabbed me in the grocery store and gave me the biggest hug ever. And she started to weep. And I was like, well, did I do something wrong? What happened? She said, no. I was at the brink of suicide, and you came and told me it was going to be all right. And she said, I held on to those words. And she said, every single time I felt like I wanted to give up, I heard your voice saying, it's going to be all right. Keep going. I did not realize, when you encourage a person and it's from the heart, you don't hold on to that and be like, oh, I told you this. I gave her the words that the Most High gave me at the time, and I left it where it was. Because sometimes you got to plant those good seeds. Sometimes you come into contact with people, it's for you to plant those good seeds. It's for you to plant that love and that joy and that peace, and to be the driving force in their life. Y'all don't know how many pieces of mail Eric and I receive where they say, one lady said her daughter had gone through so much and wanted to kill herself. And she said, but my daughter came across your broadcast, and my daughter said she wants to live. She said, I had no idea my daughter wanted to die. But because she came across your broadcast, I said, to the Most High be all the glory. It ain't me. It's the Lord. The battle is not yours. It's the Lord's. You got to see yourself victorious, and don't matter how hard it look. Because there could be some days, y'all, I ain't going to begin to tell y'all some of the times where it looked like I wasn't going to make it. There's a song that says, my soul looks back and wonder how I got over. I couldn't tell you how I got over, except but the Most High had to shine on my life. He had to rest in me. His word had to abide in me, because it was some days it's like, I don't know what to do. We're hated to the left because of our hue. We're hated to the right because of we're women. We're hated this way and we're hated that way. There's nowhere in the four corners of the globe, God, where I'm a woman of color and I'm not seen as a threat. my grace is sufficient. I'm like, your grace is sufficient. How about you move some of these hearts of stone? He kept saying, my grace is sufficient. Greater is he that lives in me. And I'm like, you know what? You got to do something. You got to fix this. Because as a person who's up here doing this show, I walked right down that same road and I had those suicidal thoughts. I even attempted to do it. Believe it or not, my niece came in and she saw me when I was invisible. My niece was 2, almost 3 years old. And she saw me when I was invisible because the weight of life was weighing me down. At 15, you never know what your children going through. Make it your business to pick up the phone and check on your children and your adult children. Make it your business to pick up the phone and check on your grandchildren. You never know. We raise our children up in the admonition and the nurturing of the Lord, and we raise them up to be respectful. But then they got to go out there and they deal with people whose children are not saved, who are the spawn of the enemy. And I don't like to say that about people, but there's some children out there in the land who are very cruel. But because we raise our children up to be loving, nurturing people, they meet some of the most horrid people. At one point, I used to say, maybe I did my children a disservice by teaching them to be respectful and loving and kind and giving. Because the world's not like that. But it actually saved them. They know how to pray. They know how to get to the throne. Why am I saying this? Sometimes we could be so caught up in life that we forget to check in, that we forget that people have problems that people are going through. When you're going through your trial, try to remember you ain't the only one. It may feel like you're not the only one. It may feel like you're the only one, but I'm here to tell you you're not. It's a lot of people who have walked in your shoes are still walking in your shoes. And I just want to encourage you to be encouraged and hold your head up high. It will get better. It may seem dark right now. What does the Bible say? Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning light. Guess what? It's morning. It is morning. Sleep problems. When you see somebody who up all night, who don't sleep, sleep just can't come to their avenue. That's a sign. Ask them if they're okay. Ask them if they need anything. Offer them a melatonin. Be there. And I'm not a person who getting paid to say melatonin, but I'm just saying give them some lavender tea. Just try and be there to help them. Lack of sleep can send you into a state of paranoia. And paranoia can send you into a state to where you would act very impulsive and rash. I'm being very honest with you guys. And I know you're saying, this is a lot. There's a lot of people out here who raise awareness and who are advocates for people who are dealing or coping with suicidal tendencies. We're going to get into that in a little bit. I want you to talk about the sudden calmness. Suddenly becoming calm after a period of depression or moodiness can be a sign that a person has made a decision to end their life. And it's the truth. When you see somebody who's just going, I want to die, they done planned it out, and all of a sudden, boom, they're at peace. They saying they're at one with the universe. They're at one, and there's just a calmness and a stillness. When you watch them go from rage to anger to denial to this to that, you watch them bop like one of those old time games, like those pinballs. You watch them bop up and down, happy, sad, moody, and then all of a sudden, there's a stillness. There's a calmness about them. That's because they've made up in their mind that they are going to take their own life. They've made up in their mind that they no longer want to live. They've mapped it out. Don't you know people strategically plan it out? I'm going to tell y'all something. When I planned my attempt at suicide, I was very strategic. One of those brainiac children. I knew how to read labels. I knew what poisons would go quick. I knew what would be undetectable. I thought about rat poison, and I was like, nah, it's going to not make me pretty. You know, it's not going to be pretty. I'll be foaming at the mouth. And then I used aspirin. Luckily, they were children's aspirin and they gave me a headache and put me to sleep. Nobody knew that I attempted to kill myself, but my niece came in and said, I love you. Little 2-year-old baby came in and said, I love you. She kissed me on the forehead. And I threw that stuff away for fear that she would get hold to it. I often tell her now, she's in her 30s, that she's my best friend still, even though I'm married to my best friend, but that child saved my life. Because had it not been for hearing that I love you, I wouldn't be here. Winston and Xavier wouldn't be here. Our marriage wouldn't be thriving, and we wouldn't be up here being a lighthouse in a dark place. Can you imagine? Oh my God, a kind word, a gesture, opening the door, saying good morning. Now don't get it twisted. I know some of y'all saying, well, you can't say good morning to everybody nowadays. People crazy. Yeah, people are. People are becoming unhinged. People have been unhinged since 16, 19. Let's be realistic. But they coming so unhinged now to the point you can't even hold eye contact. But listen to that still small voice down on the inside that tells you that it's okay to talk to this person, that it's okay. That it's okay to give a kind word. Always listen to the Lord. Always listen to the Holy Spirit. Never jump ahead. I never want to make a move without him. Never want to make a move or give a kind word or encourage anybody without the word. Withdrawal. When you notice a person who's always engaging and laughing and happy, I'm going to tell y'all something. When I'm not talking, my husband be all in my face. You okay? You all right? I'm like, I'm fine. He said, no. When you not talking is when I get nervous. So some days I don't want to blah, blah, blah all day. Some days I just want to be low key and tune it down. But when you got somebody who's very open and happy and a burst of sunshine, and then all of a sudden they go through withdrawal. They choose to be alone and they avoid friends and social gatherings. Also, that could be another sign of depression, the leading cause of suicide. This includes loss of interest in everything they used to do. You know somebody who like to play pool and all of a sudden they don't want to. Somebody who like to cook and bake, they don't like to. Somebody like me who love fashion and love shopping, and all of a sudden I say, I don't want to do it anymore. Something's up. It's not just having a change of heart. You talking about somebody who's a die-hard fisherman, somebody who is die-hard doing everything. And then all of a sudden they say, no, I just don't want to do it anymore. Leave me alone. I don't want to see my mom. I don't want to see anybody. I just want to be left alone. Yeah, it's good to give them some alone time, but if this is a consistent thing, if this is something that they want to do every single day for 3 and 4 months on edge, I would be knocking on the door every day. I would be video calling every day. I would be, hey, let's go out. It was a time where I wasn't feeling my best and I didn't want to go out. My husband said, listen, you've been in this house for a minute. I'm going to need you to come on out the door. Let's go for a ride. He said, after the broadcast, he said, I love you, but we're getting in the car and we're going somewhere. I said, okay. Cabin fever is real. Don't y'all know the four walls can start talking to people? I'm not saying they're talking to me, but I'm saying the four walls can close in on somebody who's dealing with suicide. It's no joke. Changes in personality or appearance. A person who is considering suicide might exhibit a change in attitude, behavior such as speaking or moving with unusual speed or slowness. In addition, the person might suddenly become less interested about their outer appearance. They stop taking baths. They stop brushing their teeth. They stop combing their hair. This person used to be groomed and clean to the teeth or dressed to the nines. Now, they just choosing not to do nothing. Nothing at all. They got 6 weeks worth of stuff on them and they've chosen not to take a bath. How do you deal with that? That is a sign of depression right there. That is a sign where, you know what? I just don't want to live anymore. That's what that's a sign of. That's a sign somebody's crying out for help. If they stop taking care of their self-care and tending to their needs, that's a cry out. That's a cry out for help. Don't go over there dogging them and tell them, oh, you stink, you need a bath. That's not what they need. They know already. They know stuff is going on, but they don't need you to come over there and be Captain Obvious and Captain That Obvious and put them down, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself. How about going in there and picking them up and say, you know what? Let me help you. Sometimes they just need to be jolted out of what's going on. Guys, we'll be right back after a quick break, and we'll be right back with more of the Nikki B Show. It's time. Are you ready? Ready to believe in your worth, revitalize your life, and accomplish your dreams? Well, look no further. You're in the right place. I am Nikki Bendross, life coach and plus size model. Send me a DM and we will set up your free consultation and begin your journey to self-discovery. The struggle is real, but the journey is worth it. Hey guys, I really love that Boeing Industrial Strength Concealer. Now underneath this made up face, I have some dark circles underneath my eyes. I promise you this product actually works. When I got up this morning to get ready to do the Nikki B Show, the first thing my husband said was, don't forget the concealer. I was like, wait, I was gonna do that anyway. It actually hides the dark circles underneath my eyes. I don't feel so self-conscious. Also, it just feels like nothing's there. It's weightless. I love it, and I know you're gonna love it too. Bye. No matter what obstacle that may come your way, always remember to tell yourself, you will win. The struggle is real, but the journey is worth it. Thank you for supporting me in my plus size model career and the Nikki B Show. Thank you so much. Hey guys, welcome back to the Nikki B Show. I am your host again, Nikki B, the elegant and regal one. I wanted to share with you guys, give me 1 second, I'm closing out my broadcast. Okay, I'm closing out my broadcast on the radio. I want to talk to you guys about a wonderful cause. I love what is happening. We're talking about Gloria Brown and the band, the Nikki B. Let me make sure I get this right. Nikki D, not Nikki B. Nikki D and the Sisters. Nikki D and the Sisters of Thunders. Guys, I'm so excited about this. I'm happy to talk about this. So, Audacity, formerly known as Radio.com, has partnered up with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention to bring the We Can Survive concert to the Hollywood Bowl. So we're talking about raising awareness. When we raise awareness to suicide, that you can survive, it's the foundation for suicide prevention. I'm blown away. This is the voting for the quarterfinals, and it has started, and the group is currently in the 4th place. They need our help, guys. We want them to make it to 1st place. By winning this competition, they'll be flown out to Hollywood, where they'll be in the major runnings with the major industry artists, and they could win $10,000. Do y'all guys know what that can do for Nikki D and the Sisters of Thunder? So I'm going to tell you guys, we're going to put the link down in the description. Also, when Eric is going to put it on the screen, we're going to verify through Facebook. There are ways you can vote. Verify through Facebook and cast 1 vote every 24 hours. Number 2 says verify by credit card. No charge, guys. Remember, credit card, it's no money. And you can cast your votes every 2 hours for 24 hours. Together, vote with the contribution to the Suicide Foundation. Thank you for being on this journey with them. They're so super excited, and we're going to give you the voting link and the QR code. So when I tell you I have the pleasure of knowing one of these beautiful sisters, this is like one of the most amazing things ever. They are awesome. I'm going to give you their website. The website is www.nikkidband.com. NIKKID DBAND.com. When I tell you these sisters are the Sisters of Thunder, there's no joking. We put on their music and I almost forgot I had to do another show. I was up jamming. I was like, OMG, these ladies can blow. Do you hear me? If you have a love for music, y'all need to check these sisters out. So Eric, I don't know if you can see what he has on the screen. Oh, okay, yeah. So vote for Nikkie D and the Sisters of Thunder. We're gonna give you that website again. NikkieDBand.com. Nikk. Let me go. I'm gonna make sure, guys. NikkieDBand.com. I'm excited. I'm so excited. I'm gonna give you more of the details towards the end of the show. But I wanted you guys to know that these ladies are a powerhouse for the Lord. This is not something they do for play. They've been around. When I tell you, they know what they're doing. They know their way around a horn, honey. They know their way around the trombone section. They know their way around music. And what better way to raise awareness that you will survive? You know, I love the fact that it's about surviving. In a time where people feel like dying, there's causes out there that Nikkie D and the Sisters of Thunders are doing to bring hope, to let people know you can survive, you can make it past this. This type of music can move you past your pain. Don't you know music releases serotonin and it releases those endorphins? And listening to their music, honey, I could not, what? I could not stop. You should have seen Eric. He had to put his headphones in. I was like, what are you? Because he was blasting. I was like, ooh, okay. Because, you know, I'm in prayer time. But, honey, let me tell y'all. I said, Lord, this is amazing. This is some of the best music ever. Again, Nikkie D and the Nikkie D and Band. NikkieDBand.com. I'm excited, y'all. Y'all got to excuse me. I'm just excited. And I'll give you more of the details later on in the show. Wow. I'm blown away. I'm blown away. Blown away. That's what it's all about. Raising awareness to what people are going through. This is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. God bless you too. God bless you, Gloria. Now listen, guys, if you can see her, she's in the comment section. Go over to her page and you'll see everything there. And Eric and I will also make sure that you guys can see it. Now, back to the show. Changes in personality or suicide. A person who is considering suicide might exhibit a change in attitude or behavior, speaking, movement. I know that's what we covered before we left, but I also want you guys to know that their personal appearance. They could be disheveled, you know, wide-eyed. It just depends. You can see that they're very unkept. Dangerous and harmful behavior. Potentially dangerous behavior such as reckless driving, engaging in unsafe sex, and increased use of drugs or alcohol might indicate that a person no longer values their life. You see somebody out there who they drinking a bottle for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snack too. It's somebody, you know, who are taking painkillers and they chase them with alcohol. You guys know that is a perfect recipe for death. That is like the most deadliest combination. But when a person has gotten to the point where they no longer want to live, they're going to live vicariously. They're not going to just say, oh, you know, I'm going to sleep with this person. We're going to have that one night. No, baby, they going to sleep with anybody. You get some, they tossing their body around like Tic Tacs. And it's like, OMG, my God, my God. I need you guys to pay attention to the warning signs. Pay attention to what's going on. You know, raising awareness to this will save countless lives. Just that one person who may be, you may never know. That person who may be out there coming to harm the whole place, good morning, may have a change of thought. Hey, how you doing? You know, I've been meaning to catch up with you. Change of thought. Could be sitting there in their car getting ready to put their pistol in their mouth. But because you came through and said, hey, it's good to see you, they take it and put it in their glove compartment and say, somebody's glad to see me. I could make it to see another day. That's what we are. We're a lighthouse. You know, we're blessed to be a blessing. We are not in this walk by ourselves. We are here to encourage and uplift one another. That's what the word says. Through loving kindness have I drawn you. He didn't say, I'm going to draw you just because no, through loving kindness. And a kind word turns away wrath. You never know what a person's going through. When I promise you guys, I go in and say, hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. By the time I leave, they're like, bye, Nikki, bye. I can't help it. Because I never know who may be hurting on the inside. I never know when the Lord give you the gift of discernment and you don't use it, you just sit there. Oh, no, we're not doing that. You just sit on it and somebody's really going through and you neglect to touch bases or neglect to just say hi. You never know. I don't want that to be on your hands. Always open your mouth and say good morning. Everybody's do a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a good night. What they do with it after that, that's on them. But continue to be a lighthouse in this dark place. Recent trauma or crisis. So a major life crisis may trigger a suicide attempt. Crises include the death of a loved one or a pet, the end of a relationship, the diagnosis of a major injury, loss of jobs, or serious financial problems. Well, Nikki B, it ain't that serious when you lose a job, you can just go out and get another one. Baby, it's not that easy. Imagine you walking around with a bachelor's and a master's degree and you cannot find a job in your field. You even go to the fast food chains and they tell you too overqualified. Nobody will give you a job. But you're looking at your mortgage. You're looking at your wife or your husband. You looking at your children. You looking at all these past due bills. When you so used to working and having things together, your savings is at zero. Imagine. Can you imagine what a person is going through? And I'm not talking about these big old investors who see their stuff go down and they jump out of windows because they don't want to know what it's like to live the poor life. I'm talking about somebody who done struggled. Some people who live paycheck to paycheck. And then all of a sudden that paycheck is gone. You got to watch them. You got to be there. You got to huddle around them. You got to be that village, that tribe to cover them. Cover them in prayer. Cover them. Hey, I got a few extra dollars. Here, you got gas in your car? I'm that person. You got some food. It may not be much, but here goes some rice. Here go this, here go that. That'll help get them through another day. And I'm not saying people are looking out for handouts because that's not what it is. Don't you know a lot of people don't want a handout? Don't you know a lot of people just want to do it themselves? Because there's this big misconception that certain people in a certain class just wants handouts. No, ma'am, and no, sir. We don't want your handout. Well, a lot of us want to work and do it ourselves. A lot of us are business owners. But when the pandemic hit, a lot of people lost income. It's so sad that you got people in high places look down on people who live paycheck to paycheck and just feel like, oh, well, they lazy and they don't want to get a job. Not so. The blood will be required on y'all hands. Get it together. Making preparations. Often a person considering suicide will begin to put their personal business in order. This might include visiting family and friends. Family members, they be giving away all their stuff. I mean, giving away everything. They're giving away their diamonds, their furs, their cars, making a will and cleaning up their home, cleaning up their room. Some people will write a note before taking their own life. Some people will buy a firearm. They may get a handgun, rifle, or they may buy poison. You just never know. But when you see somebody who love their stuff, love their cars, they love life, and then all of a sudden, I just don't want it no more. You can have it. If they not going to a leopard camp or going in to be a missionary, you need to pray for them. You need to get down on bended knees. And not just that, you need to pay attention to their verbal and nonverbal cues. They letting you know, I can't do it no more. I am tired. I am done. They no longer say, I think I'm going to run on and see what the end going to be. They saying the end is now. I know some people who do research for years on how to kill themselves. They wake up just so they can research how to die. My Lord. They wake up just so they can research how to die. Pay attention to the cues and nonverbal cues. Pay attention to the things that they are not saying. Now, I'm not going to tell you I go up to some random stranger, but if I can feel them, hey, oh, girl, you know you rocking that dress. One lady, I'm going to tell y'all, I went on the game show, right? And you know, in Hollywood, I'm thinking, boy, people got it all together. And I went to this lady and I saw she was wearing a beautiful dress, a beautiful top. And the Lord said, tell her she wearing a beautiful top. I'm like, I don't know this lady, but you know what? Obedience is better than sacrifice. Being obedient, obeying the Lord is better than I'm gonna sacrifice my feelings. You know, I'm not gonna. She may tell me to get out her face, or she may say something mean to me. It didn't matter. He said, tell her how nice her shirt looked. I said, oh, you know, you are wearing that shirt. That shirt looks nice. And she stood there. She said, me? This was an executive producer. Me? She said, oh my God, I wish you could be here every day. I just might not consider suicide today. I said, what? She said, yes, you made me not want to commit suicide today. Here I am, sister girl living Upper Manhattan. Got everything from head to toe, but wanting to die. Got the best job driving the cars, on the biggest shows. But said, you made me not want to commit suicide today. And I noticed the other co-workers put their arms around her. She said, I wish you could be on set with us every day. She said, I'll never forget you, Nikkie B. Blew me away. Because when you think that one person you see, that sister got it all together, that could be the one who's crying out on the inside, help, screaming the loudest, but can't nobody hear. That's the one you pay attention to. That young socialite, that beautiful queen, that beauty queen. They say she was the brightest star, but she was hurting on the inside. I just saw a news anchor. The brightest star, hurting on the inside. Hurting. Some of the relatives say they had no idea. You got to check in on your people. Check in on them. See how you doing. How you doing today? I call my mama every day, sometimes 4 times a day. Eric is a witness. I call her every day. I'm still blessed to have my mama. Every day. What you doing? She said, I'm trying to go to sleep. Okay, I just want to check on you. One day I called her 4 in the morning. What are you doing? She said, what do you think I'm doing? I'm sleeping. Hey, I thought about you and I wanted to give you a call. Check on your parents. Check on your elderly parents. Check on your children, your grandchildren. Check in on your friends. Sometimes I pop in people's inbox randomly just to say hi. I saw on Facebook, I didn't even know one of my friends passed away. And the Lord dropped her name in my spirit. And I'm like, let me make sure she all right. Went on her page, the lady had passed away. Because I'm like, I didn't even, we always correspond, but because we're so busy, I don't have that kind of time. So I always try to do a check-in post on Facebook. Hey, checking in, y'all good? And a lot of people say, yeah, I'm good. Some people don't respond, but the point is, put it out there. Put it out there in the universe. Put it out there in the atmosphere. Make sure you're putting it out with the right motives to check in and make sure everybody's okay. Some people need that. Some people don't have that. Some people might have lost parents or might have lost siblings. They may be the only person left. And they need your kind word just to check in. You just might make their day. I want you also to pay attention to people who are threatening or talking about suicide. From 50 to 75% of those considering suicide, they will give somebody a warning. They will tell you, man, I feel like killing myself. Somebody said it to me out of frustration. I got up in their face and their space. They're like, give me some room. No. Because when you say that word suicide, my senses are high and I will not leave you alone for the rest of your life. I will check in on you until the day you close your eyes in the will of the Lord. Now, you can't prevent people from doing it. If they've got their mind made up that they're going to commit suicide, there's nothing you can do to prevent it. But I'm going to be that sounding board. I'm going to be that voice to say, hey, you don't have to. Hey, I'm here. Hey, what you doing? You want to go out? You want something to eat? You want some cookies? You want some brownies? Finally, they just say, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. And they start writing in and say, hey, I'm good. They start beating me to the punch. I'm great. Look, I'm writing to show you that I'm good. Start sending me selfies. Oh, okay. Because you know if I don't hear from you in a day or two, I'm writing you. I'm that friend. I'm that mama. I'm that daughter. I'm that sister. I will check on you, whether you want to hear it or not. If I see a post, I'm going to give you a heart. That lets you know I'm watching. I'm there for you. I read everything. I may not comment, but I read, and I be grateful that the Lord allowed me to have my friends and family for another day. I thank you, Lord, for their lives. A warning sign. It might not be an outright threat. They may talk about a usual amount of death or say things. It would be better if I wasn't there. It wouldn't be better it would be better. Life would be better if I wasn't here. That's a telltale sign. However, not everyone who is considering suicide will say so. That's why I say listen to the verbal and nonverbal cues. And not everyone who threatens suicide will follow through with it. Every threat of suicide should be taken seriously. Y'all heard me just say I'm like a helicopter, mama, daughter, sister. I don't care. If you tell me you having feelings and thoughts of hopelessness, you will never get away. Never get away from me. I don't care who you are. Even the young lady, she wrote me back in, when she first came across our platform, Nikkie Bendross plus size model and Eric Bendross brand, she said, because Nikkie's story part 1 and part 2. If y'all know me and you don't know the real story, I'll reshare Nikkie's story part 1 and part 2. This young lady had been raped by people in the church, and she was at the brink of suicide. And she wrote to me, she said, oh my God, I'm so glad I found you. I had the pills right next to me. I was getting ready to do it. But hearing your voice transported me out. I had another lady saying your face was glowing and it was pulling me into the screen to listen. And I tell them, give all the glory to the Lord because he knows what you need. I'm just a mere vessel, somebody who's yielding and willing to do the work. Somebody who doesn't mind. I'll take the negativity, Lord. I'll take the arrows. I'll take all the hate. But if it'll save just that one soul, if it'll save that one soul and give them a brighter future, bring it on. Bring it on. Because that's what it's about. Seeing past whatever it is in my face and seeing that soul that's broken and that just needs an encouragement. I get messages every day, and I tell y'all, it make my heart weep. Thank you. I needed to see this. A lot of people say, thank you for this. Thank you. See, what the enemy means for evil in your life, the Lord will turn it around for your good. For all the negative darts that we receive, all the good outshines the bad. Be that sounding board in somebody's life. Be that person that checks on everybody. Be that person. But I want you to get, in all you're getting, I want you to get your understanding. And don't forget to check in and love on yourself as well. Ooh-wee. Who is most likely to commit suicide? Suicide rates are the highest in teens, young adults, and the elderly. White men over 65 have the highest rate in suicide. They have the highest rates of suicide. Suicide risks are also higher in older people who have lost a spouse through death or support. If you got a mom or a dad who just lost their wife, your mom or their parent, pay attention. When my dad passed away back in 2014, I was all over my mom like white on rice. Because I had already taken suicide prevention. I had already went through all the social services classes, so I knew what to expect. And usually, guys, when a parent loses their spouse, they die within 6 months. My dad's been gone now 5 years, and my mom is still, she's a champion. This old, I ain't gonna call her old bird because she watching. But this lady is a inspiration. She keeps going regardless of what she's gone through. She just keeps moving. Big ups, Honey Brown. People who have attempted suicide in the past, Though I'm giving you some insight. People who are prone to commit suicide, the rates are higher. Who have attempted suicide in the past. Thank the Lord. I am so grateful. So grateful. That happened when I was 15. Y'all, I'm going to be 46 in a couple days. My birthday's September 5th. And I'm grateful that the Lord saw me through that. And he gave me an additional 30-something years in life. I'm so grateful that he did not allow my suicide attempt to be successful. People with a family history of suicide. If you got cousins and aunts and uncles or everybody who commits suicide, it seems to be something that's running rampant in that family. It seems to be like a family trait. Break that ugly cycle. Break that generational curse. You shall live and not die, says the Lord of hosts. People with a friend or a coworker who have killed themselves. I talked about my friend from high school who killed himself. And it made the people around him feel they had survivor's guilt because they felt like they didn't check on him enough. They didn't, he was crying out for help and everybody was saying they was busy or later. I'm that person. I stop what I'm doing. I don't care what it is. I'm going to stop what I'm doing and I'm going to pay attention to you. And I'm going to say, tell me what's going on. Tell me where it hurts. Not everybody's like that. But 9 times out of 10, a lot of us are. People who are unmarried, unskilled, or unemployed. Because I know a lot of people write to my husband and myself and say, I wish I had what you had. Life is hard. This ain't easy. Being by myself, I wish I had a support system. So a lot of people feel like without a spouse, they can't make it. I'm here to tell you, baby, you are strong. You can make it. You are victorious. People who are prone to violent and impulsive behavior, people with long-term pain or disabling or terminal illness. It can be rough, especially when you're dealing with something that there is no cure and you know you are on your way out of here faster than the speed of light. That can be something else. Pay attention. We're raising awareness. People who have been recently released from a psychiatric hospitalization. This is often a very frightening period of transition. Somebody who's battling mental illness and they've been in the hospital, they're used to being taken care of, they're getting their meds, and then all of a sudden they're either their insurance won't pay or they've capped their amount of their stay at a hospital, and suddenly they're thrown out into the street with no way of getting their medication, no direction, no nothing, no social services. Those are the people you see jumping into trains, running out into traffic. The most vulnerable in our population are children, teens, young adults, and the elderly, and definitely the people who are suffering from mental illness. You see somebody talking to themselves, don't holler off they're crazy. You don't know how they got there. You don't know how that functioning member of society, this person was a functioning, prominent member of society, and life happened. And it turned their world upside down. Don't be that person, Captain Obvious, to point out, oh, they crazy. Don't be that person, Captain Net Obvious. Something wrong with them. Don't be that person. Be that person to extend a kind hand or plate of food or extend something, but don't extend your nastiness with your tongue. Don't extend that poison out of your mouth and state the very obvious that a person is crazy or they're having a mental breakdown. It's known already. What we need for you to do is de-escalate. What we need for you to do is be that sounding board and that loving individual to be there to help them make it through these changes. Whew. Also, people with certain professions. People in certain professions such as police officers and healthcare workers who work with terminally ill patients. I would also include teachers. You know why? School shootings. School shootings are at an all-time high. Shootings, mass shootings at an all-time high. People need reassurance. People need hope. They need a kind word. They need some appreciation. Am I saying going around and pat everybody on the back? No, I didn't say that. But if it's within your power and you can see it with your eyes that somebody's overwhelmed. I remember Eric and I, we were somewhere. This happens a lot. But I saw this young lady. Maybe we were at a restaurant and this young lady was struggling. She was just trying to get the order. And I said, sweetheart, you're doing a great job. And her shoulders dropped and she said, really? Thank you. All it is recognizing that somebody's in pain and that they're going through something. Recognize the fact that the Lord has equipped you. And it's not always money. It could be the kind word, encouragement, just being present. Sometimes I'm on the phone with people just to hear them breathe. Sometimes they just need to know that there's another person there and they're not going through it alone. Can suicide be prevented? Suicide can't be prevented with certainty, but risk can often be reduced with timely intervention. Research suggests that the best way to prevent suicide is to know the risk factors. Be alert to the signs of depression and other mental disorders, recognizing the warning signs of suicide, and intervene before the person can complete the process of self-destruction. When y'all see me stammer a little bit, because this is something that I had to see in myself, being a survivor of suicide, being somebody who attempted, because I believe it or not, another transparency moment, being in that abusive marriage, because I was married before I got with my earthly king, before the Lord blessed me to be found by Mr. Bendros. I used to wake up to die. And again, children, Winston and Xavier would say, Mommy, you're so beautiful. Mommy, give me a hug. Mommy, give me a kiss. And you know, I often tell people they saved my life, those three. They saved me. Because it's like, I felt like I couldn't catch a break. I done caught hell growing up. And then I get in this marriage. This man don't like me. He don't love me. He want to knock all on me. He want to call me all types of names. He want to mistreat me and my children, who are also his. And it's like, why did you create me? Did you create me for pain? And again, my grace is sufficient. I held on a little while longer. I held on. Every day the Lord showed me through my sons, our babies, when they grown men, y'all. I keep saying babies. Winston will be 25 and Xavier's 21. So that'll tell you how long the Lord has kept me. By his grace and his mercy, he kept me for this divine purpose, to be a lighthouse in a dark world. I promise you, I had the pills ready. I thought about driving my car off a cliff. I thought about doing so many different things to harm myself. But every time that darkness would rise up in me, the children will come and be rays of light and give me a kiss and say, Mommy, I'm so happy to see you today. I'm always eternally grateful that he blessed me with those two beautiful vessels to show me that life can begin anew, that life was worth living, that regardless of how I was feeling on the inside, that I deserved life, that I deserved to be, that I was worthy of it. I was worthy of happiness. I was worthy of having a better life. The warning signs are there. I need y'all to pay attention. Some people don't know how to say it out loud. I'm having thoughts of harming myself. Some people may say all is lost. Some people may say I don't even want to wake up tomorrow. Some people may say I don't even want to see the light of day. Don't be afraid. If you think somebody's suicidal, people who receive support from caring friends and family who have access to mental health services, they are less likely to commit suicide. They won't have the suicidal impulses. They are most likely to not go through with it. Don't be afraid to ask them if they are depressed to think about suicide. I'm not afraid to say, hey, you think about harming yourself? They'll say, no, I'm not. You think about harming yourself? Rather than trying to talk the person out of suicide, let them know that depression is temporary and is treatable. In some cases, the person just needs to know that someone cares and is looking out for them and their feelings. That's all. They just need a kind word. A kind word turns away wrath. Don't leave the person alone. Ask them if they have anybody, any family or friends. Be supportive. Call 911. Try to keep the person as calm as possible. If you see they're having a nervous breakdown, try to keep them as calm as possible. Ask them if they have any weapons. If you got a knife, you got a gun, whatever, give it to me. Put it aside. Hold it till help is on the way. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 1-800-273-TALK. Again, that's 1-800-273-TALK. Sometimes it just takes a kind word. Sometimes it just takes you knowing that somebody's there to love on you. Somebody's there to be in your corner. Sometimes that's all you need is to know that somebody's there and they're looking out for you. All right, guys, this has been Say What Wednesdays. I'm your host, Nikki B, the elegant and regal one. I want to thank you for allowing me into your hearts and into your homes. I'm truly grateful. And I know that this word was received with a beautiful heart. Remember, there's that call again. There's that suicide prevention. Number that you see on your screen. 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-TALK 82552. And then also 988. Yes, thank you. 988 is a suicide and crisis lifeline. So guys, thank you again for allowing me into your hearts and your homes. This has been Say What Wednesdays. I'm your host again, Nikki B, the elegant and real one. Again, thank you for allowing me into your hearts and your homes. The struggle is real, but the journey is worth it. Love you guys. Bye. The sister, Nikki D and the Sisters of Thunder. Such an amazing group. Site is www.nikkiedband.com. You can also go, Eric has the website in there. You can vote every 24 hours. You can scan that daily, free daily votes every 24 hours. Together, we can do this. They are raising prevention on suicide prevention. We Can Survive for the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention to bring the We Can Survive concert to the Hollywood Bowl. Go out, show your support. Bless these ladies, honey. Be a blessing in their lives as they have been a blessing to mine. All right, guys. Love you. Bye. Wow! Love it.